You're looking at live pictures of Congressman Jamie Raskin. He's speaking at a rally in Washington, D.C. All day today, opponents of Donald Trump and Elon Musk are taking to the streets for what is being called the hands-off rallies. Rallies like this that you're seeing on your screen, this one in Boston, they're expected to occur in all 50 states across our country. Protesters are hoping to send a message to Trump and Elon Musk, and they're demanding that there is a stop to the chaos. And they're expressing their disapproval of the latest set of executive orders that are hurting everyday Americans and that are apparently only benefiting the wealthy. Organizers for the rally expect that this will be the largest demonstration since Trump returned to the Oval Office. And amidst the onslaught of Trump's executive orders, my next guest makes the case that we may have arrived at this current tumultuous moment because of bad laws. He writes, quote, "The law is not an accident, it's a plan. It is written with intentionality by people who want to shape society in one way or another. In our society, that shape is distorted to benefit a ruling class of white male elites and the industries and opportunities that those elites control." Joining me now is New York Times bestselling author Elie Mystal, justice correspondent for The Nation, host of the podcast Contempt of Court. In his latest book, it is a doozy. It's Bad Law, 10 popular laws that are ruining America. Elie, I don't know where you find time to write all that you do, but you always spend time with me, so I'm grateful. Talk about your book, because you have some pretty provocative takes about how we have found ourselves where we are now based upon bad laws.
Yeah, Katie, my idea was that somebody needs to start writing Project 2029, right? And it ain't going to be Chuck Schumer, right? Like, if you think about Project 2025, they wrote that, they started writing that in 2021 when they had no power, when they had just attacked the Capitol and failed. Right, that was the inception of Project 2025. So now, in a situation where Democrats don't have a lot of power, don't have a lot of political power, it is time for us to start thinking about the future. And when you look at what Republicans do when they come into office, they come in with a sledgehammer. And they take things away. They smash things that are important to people like you and me and many of your viewers, right? When Democrats come into office, we come in with like super glue and duct tape, and we're going to put some things back together. I could have written 10 constitutional amendments that would be super awesome and cool to do, right? 10 laws that would make us all smile and go, yay. Instead, I wanted to write, here are 10 things that we could just smash, that if Democrats are ever allowed to take power again, we can just smash and make our country better tomorrow. Because like I said in the bit that you read, the law is not an accident. It's not an objective thing. Charlton Heston did not climb up on a mountain and find some laws for us and throw them at us. That's not how it actually happened, right? We choose to live this way. We could choose to live better tomorrow, and that's what this book is about.
And, you know, something that you've said that also resonated with me, Elie, is you said the left has to take a page from the right's playbook and to bring in the hammer. I would actually amend that a little bit and say we have to bring in the sledgehammer based upon what you just said that the Republicans do. What does that look like, though? Because there's a big game and a big talk with messaging, and yet the actual implementation of something always seems to be lacking.
Democrats always say they want to protect voting rights, right? And that's great. I also want to protect voting rights. Your previous guest, Mark Elias, has dedicated his life to protecting voting rights. But I want to do more than that. I want to expand voting rights. I want to make voting actually easier for people. So one of the first chapter of my book is about repealing voter registration laws, not voter eligibility requirements. I'm not crazy, right? We should have eligibility requirements. You know, if you have, let's say an age limit, right? You got to be 18 to vote. I'm generally cool with that. I don't want my 9-year-old voting. That would be a bad idea. I'd talk to him, right? However, once you are eligible, once you have met the eligibility requirements, there is no need to have a secondary hurdle to pre-register before you go vote. If you're eligible, you should be able to walk into a polling booth and vote. It's that simple. And it's so simple that this isn't my idea. This is the idea of most democracies around the world. Everybody else besides us either has automatic registration, mandatory registration, or same-day registration. We're the only ones that have this archaic, asinine system where you have to register, pre-register 10 days, 2 weeks, a month in advance of the actual election, right? So I'm kind of, with that suggestion, I'm focused not on the 77 million white supremacists that voted for Donald Trump. I can't help them, right? That is between them and their God. I'm worried about the 90 million people who sat on their couch. The 90 million eligible voters who sat on their couch and didn't take a stand on fascism or no, right? And I'm thinking that one of the ways to motivate them is to make it just a little bit easier. And getting rid of pre-registration requirements makes it just a little bit easier for people who, again, are already eligible to vote, have already met the eligibility requirements. We're not talking about non-citizens voting. We're not talking about undocumented people voting. We're talking about eligible American citizens. Why should you have to pre-register in order to exercise your franchise in this alleged democracy?
Elie, I got less than a minute. Trump has now asked SCOTUS via its shadow docket 6 times since he took office to intervene in cases much earlier than they normally would. He's losing his mind over nationwide TROs. Can you predict for us quickly whether or not you think SCOTUS is going to take any of these cases, because they haven't yet?
The ones that they take, they're going to take to help them, right? Like, this is a 6-3 conservative supermajority. 3 of the justices have been handpicked by Donald Trump. He's got 4 votes for almost every single thing that he wants to do. And the 2 in the middle-ish, Roberts and Barrett, seem to be willing to go along with him more often than not. He is going to win most of his cases in front of the Supreme Court. And one thing that liberals have to understand is that the courts are not coming to help us. What's happening today out in the streets, the hands-off rally, that is what's going to help us, not the 9 law wizards in robes on First Street in D.C. Those people, 6 of them, are generally in the tank for Trump, and he will find 5 votes where he needs to more often than not.
Elie Mystal, again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy writing schedule to join us. Everybody go and get his new book, Bad Laws, because they are bad and we don't need them. See you soon, my friend.